Morning guys, it is 8:52 on Tuesday. Just having a look at Bitcoin, see what's happened overnight. Not too much at the moment. We're still holding 55,808. We did have a double bottom in play, but we've had such a weak bounce. It hasn't really... normally with a double bottom, it's a bullish reversal pattern. So almost what you would expect is to have this double bottom in and then a move higher. So a move to break what would be the high with regards to this pattern, top of this pattern. But we haven't had that. We've had a very weak bounce and moved that back down, holding this area again. So the bulls are definitely lined up here, but you know, it's accumulation rather than buying in volume. So the volume isn't coming in, so we're not seeing a push up in price. So things to look out for at the moment. We may well accumulate and we may well just move sideways here, which will be fairly good with altcoins, but it's trading cautiously because there's a strong probability that we would then have a breakdown. Okay, we are looking for a breakdown from this current position. So depending on what happens over the next hour or so, we may well see a breakdown. This is obviously our target, this green box here. And then we've got our supporting trend line at 52,837. Don't rule out a move down to this trend line. Okay, so if I go to the 3-day chart and then I zoom out, reset chart, and then I am going to, you can see that we're potentially in this large rising wedge. Okay, so we've had first touch at the top, second touch at the bottom, and then we've had another touch. We've had a move to the top, and then we're currently having a move back down. So don't rule out a move down to this lower trend line here. Before we start to move back up again. At this stage, what is imperative is that Bitcoin puts in a new all-time high. Sorry, let me just get rid of this one here. So what we're looking for is, if we do get a bounce in any of this area here, we're looking for a move back up to break all-time high level, which is 69,000. A lower high, so if we break down and then move up, and we only get to this sort of area, then that would be classed as a lower high. And if that happens, that could mean a longer, deeper correction could be on the cards. Okay, so if we just have a look at the previous all-time high, so we can see that we're more or less, I would say we're more or less here at the moment. Okay, so we've had this nice move up. We've put in an all-time high, then we put in a lower low, we've put in a lower low, then we put in a lower high. If we put in a lower high, this is potentially on the cards. So that would be a move down, breakdown from this triangle, consolidation, before then the next move up. Okay, so it's all eyes on Bitcoin over the next month, I would say, to see whether we can start moving upwards and move out of this sort of bearish short-term idea. And then if we do move upwards, whether we're able to put in that higher high. So we need to be breaking out of this rising wedge, retesting and moving up. And we definitely need to be putting in a higher high. Even if we move to the top of this pattern, that will still be a higher high. It just means that we're still potentially going to hit the bottom of the pattern, and then the top of the pattern again, another higher high. And we basically keep going until we break out. If we do break out of this, you can expect some sort of, not parabolic move, but a very strong move upwards. Okay, 68% chance that this pattern, this rising wedge, breaks down. So you're going to have that in the back of your head as well. Okay, so all eyes on Bitcoin at the moment. What am I expecting right now? Let's have a look at the 15-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart for really nailing moves and looking at what's going on. If you go to the 5-minute chart, actually, you can even chart these. The 5-minute charts are great for practicing on, so you can even chart these 5-minute charts. So we can almost say that we're in some sort of falling wedge there, or falling channel, which has been in, and then we've just had a breakout. Okay, so we've had this breakout of this falling channel, retesting at the moment. Are we going to retest? If so, possibility that we move higher. But this is a 5-minute chart, a lot of noise, so anything can happen. We can then draw in additional trend lines from here, like so, and there we go. I mean, this is why trend lines are important. just drawn in a very quick trend line from the top here, taking out this candle, going past this candle, touching on this candle, and we can see where it's been rejected. Look, okay, bang on there. So we've had this breakout rejection because of this other longer trend line on a time frame. We're retesting at the moment, waiting to see if we can move higher. Can we break out of this trend line, which is acting as resistance at the moment, or are we going to do this? Okay, trend line's super important. I would look at that if you're serious about trading. Look at that trading view offer, because that will save you a ton of money. The Black Friday offer. You got 4 days left, I think, to act on that. So, what am I expecting? I just don't think Bitcoin are going to break these levels. Bitcoin is going to break these levels without moving down, in my opinion, at the moment. So we need to break this level, 57,957. We need to break 60,000, which is strong psychological resistance. And then for Bitcoin to regain some sort of bullish momentum, 61,385 is my target. Just can't see that happening at the moment. I think what we're going to need is a move down to these lower levels, potentially even down to here. And then we're going to need some massive institutional buys just to start pushing the price back up. Okay, so those are my thoughts at the moment. I'm still waiting out. Got a few positions open, which are mid-term, long-term positions, so I'm not too worried about those. But I'm looking to buy this dip. To be honest, I thought it would have happened by now, but it hasn't. So I'm just waiting on the sidelines to buy this dip. What I don't know is what's going to be the best entry at the moment. Are we going to see volume coming in here and a move upwards? Or are we going to see a drive lower, touch of this trend line, and then we may well bounce on this trend line before moving upwards as well. So difficult trading conditions at the moment. Fear and greed is neutral, so it's basically indecision in the market. Let me just bring that up. Let's check that this morning. Ooh, it's down. Fear and greed is down to 33 overnight. So that would suggest that people are a little bit afraid right now of what Bitcoin's going to do. And remember, fear is good for traders. So we buy fear, essentially. So fear is the worry that the price action is going to move down, which it can do in this particular scenario. Traders are selling because they're worried about losing money on Bitcoin at the moment. But essentially that we got to see that. So fear is an opportunity to buy and accumulate cryptocurrencies. So when the fear and greed, I mean not necessarily 33, but if it moves lower, when the fear and greed index is really low, that's an opportunity to buy. So you've got to look at it in that respect. Not an opportunity to sell, but an opportunity to buy. Yes, it may move down, but there's a strong probability it's going to turn to greed at some stage. And when it does start moving back to greed, that's when people start jumping in. But you've already bought at a potentially very low point. So that's essentially the fear and greed. We buy the fear, we sell the greed. We almost work opposite to how everybody else's work. Everyone else works. So everyone else sells the fear. So they sell when the fear and index is low. And they buy when fear and index is greedy, when people are buying. But we've already bought down here. Albeit we kind of understand that it's going to move to greed at some stage. Within a month, you're gonna move back up to greed. So look at it that way with the fear and greed index. Little shout out to Chris. He has just signed up for lifetime membership. Our first one. Thank you very much. 49 spots left. So we got 50 lifetime memberships available, $200. And then once they're gone, they're gone. And then the normal price will resume. But we haven't launched yet, but Chris is enjoying what we're doing. He's learning a lot. I think he's doing quite well at the moment. Started off with a small, modest budget, and he's doing fairly well considering the market at the moment. So well done, Chris, and thank you for signing up. Right, going to leave it there, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. But all eyes on Bitcoin at the moment. Strong probability or possibility that we could see a move down before we see that move up. And just keep an eye on this trend line. This trend line is key. We don't want to lose this trend line here. Otherwise, it could mean a much bigger correction over a much longer period of time. All right, cheers, guys.